Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first API Ops group in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. And thank you so much for joining us today. And if you're listening to this recording, we welcome you to this global community. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Marjukka, who is the founder of the API Ops and API Ops Cycles methodology. And she'll talk about what the methodology is, what it can do for you, and we'll be able to answer any questions as well. So thank you so much, Marjukka.
Thank you, Emmeline. So yes, APIOps is a community for doing APIs basically. So DevOps, you might have heard about that, and you might have also heard about lean management and business modeling and things like that. And we basically combine DevOps practices with business-oriented design and business modeling, and try to come up with ways of doing developer-friendly APIs that also help your architecture, help your business. And we have in the meetups, typically, for example, in the Helsinki meetup, which was the second one and is currently the biggest one, we have developers talking to other developers, we have architects, we have API product owners, managers, and then we have also business developers, a bit depending on the topic, but then usually we have people telling their own stories, failings, and successes in developing APIs, in developing their API-related methodology. And one of the things that we do use a lot sometimes is that we have APIOps cycles methodology that we use. One thing here, we have one participant asking if there's a problem with the APIOps meetup, but let's see. Anyways, this is what we typically do in the meetups, and there is this website, this Medium website. It's actually under apiops.info address, and it redirects to this Medium site. And here we have a lot of content from the meetups that we have had, and you can find out what we have been talking about and a bit more about the method. And also in apiopscycles.com, we have the method, the APIOps Cycles method for API development and management, and it's Creative Commons licensed, and it's basically free for you to use. If you need any assistance, training, anything, then of course you can buy it. You can buy it from us, or you can buy it from the partners that are listed in the partners page. And basically, here is a 1-minute video of why you should use APIOps Cycles methods. And here we have some of the reasons listed too. So the idea is that it makes API development and management more collaborative. Sometimes you have this problem that you have business people, you have technical people, you have different kinds of technical people, you have integration, API developers, UI developers. Everybody has their own language, everybody has their own methods. And to develop APIs for those is sometimes very kind of meeting oriented, or you try something and maybe it fails, and maybe your developers who you want to use your APIs don't actually want to use them because of the bad developer experience. Sometimes you might publish some APIs or try to publish some APIs to API management tools, and you find out that the APIs that you developed are not publishable or are not manageable. Anyway, this method combines a lot of business methods and technical methods, and it's openly licensed, so you are free to use it, and the method itself is described in here, these pages. So that's one tool that we use in the meetups when it suits the meetup, not always, and you are not forced to use it. It's just out there to help you if you need it. And what we want to do is to kind of have a free place for everybody who is API interested in any way to come and chat with other API people, people that are maybe thinking of doing APIs or buying APIs or somehow thinking about it from technical or business perspective. And the idea is that you can come as a participant, you can come as a sponsor, or like, for example, I think Emmeline has the meeting place organized, but some beers or some food are always appreciated. And then, of course, speakers. If you think you have an interesting story on APIs, just come and tell it. And it's a wonderful way also to kind of learn how to present yourself and build up your kind of soft skills and get feedback on both your presentation, but also on your technical or business ideas and methods, and get the community to kind of ask you smart and stupid questions and give you feedback. So we have had a lot of different speakers and attendees in our meetups, and in Helsinki in Finland, it has been really great. And there have been some attempts to have an APIOps meetup also in US, for example, in Atlanta, but right now we are seeing a very, very big interest, for example, after the last Austin API Summit in that area. So let's see where we can get with this APIOps Dallas meetup.
Absolutely, and we're riding on the momentums of so it's a little bit tricky because the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, just like the Houston Metroplex, it's so large. And so it's typically difficult to run a meetup. So for example, in Austin, there's a very vibrant API meetup that I've been involved in since the 2010s. And so there was a huge demand to have them in these other, larger metropolitan areas. And so as people who are running this meetup, it's truly by the community for the community. And so feel free to send any feedback, in the meetup messages channels to us as organizers. And we're also open, for example, to having co-organizers locally.
And I would say one thing that you can also do in the meetups is that you can use them for recruiting. You can use them for like presenting your company or finding new customers or employees or something, but please be mindful for other members. So we generally have that kind of stuff happening with the networking part in the meetup. So if you come to the meetup physically, you can talk to other people, you can make meaningful connections to other people, and then you can see if you can also do something else with them. But please don't message directly the other members unless you have actually met them, and we can't cater for all the requests that, for example, please find me a coder who codes APIs, or find me a person to recruit. I mean, we'll try to kind of help you if we can, but the best idea is that you come, for example, as a sponsor, or you come as a speaker in the event, or you come as networking participant, and then you can kind of mingle in with the API people present there.
Yeah, that's a great point, Marjukka, and I'll post some general community guidelines. Yeah. So I've been part of many very healthy and wonderful communities. And so, basically just when you do present, we focus on being kind of vendor neutral and focusing really on the adoption of the methodology. However, as Marjukka was saying, if you do have good stories that you think could help other members, we're really all here to learn and share.
Yes, and as said, there's no like APIOps cycles method is not the thing in the APIOps meetups. It's just something that usually somehow comes up. Like, for example, one thing is that how do I design good APIs, or how do I do versioning, or something like, for example, how do I do very kind of safe APIs? If you are thinking of these kind of technical problems or questions, then, for example, we sometimes refer that, hey, look at the API audit checklist in the method, or look at the design guide in the method. That's fine. And we sometimes have presentations on how to use the method or some part of the method in the meetups, because that might help some community members, but it's not only about that method. And we're just basically wanting the world to do more very good APIs. That's the whole goal, and to learn from each other.
Absolutely.
I think that this might be good, like enough of maybe a presentation on the meetup.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll
And
edit this
yeah,
and then I will post it and make it available on the meetup page. And because I've got I can basically cut out the beginning and this end here and make it kind of friendly. So, and then will you give me some guidelines on where to put it, so that
yeah. I think that